Congress narrowly avoided a government shutdown by passing a continuing resolution, with Joe Biden signing it into law. It sailed through both the House and the Senate, but many conservative lawmakers are voicing their opposition. Additionally, this will only fund the government until March 8th, before the appropriations process starts all over again. Here to break this down for us is Joe Penland, also known as Joe from Texas. Joe, thank you so much for stopping by.
Absolutely, Nathaniel. Thanks for having us.
All right, so a lot of House Republicans voted down this measure since it doesn't provide any spending cuts. And according to lawmakers like Chip Roy and Thomas Massey, we shouldn't be funding government agencies that they say are targeting Americans. They've also accused establishment Democrats and Republicans of acting as a uniparty to create another crisis next week when the funding runs out. Why are Republicans siding with Democrats just to kick the can down the road?
Well, I can't answer why they're doing what they're doing. I can tell you that this is ridiculous that it continues year after year. You know, we've had 47 of these from 2000 to 2010 to 2022. It's ridiculous to continue to scare the American people. And with the debt being over 34 trillion now, people believe it's a real possibility that we're going to default on our debt. So both sides of the aisle need to quit this, quit scaring the American people, come up with a budget on time that we can live with, and let's run this government responsibly. We're not doing it when we have this kind of debt. But I'm sick and tired of seeing American people, especially the elderly, that are scared to death that we're not going to pay our bills and a lot of programs are going to run out. We don't never need not to pay our bills or shut down the government. That would be foolish for the United States to do that.
All right, so then how do Republicans keep the government running while also slashing spending then?
Well, you got to quit a lot of when we talk about this all the time. You have to quit the waste. You have to quit the fraud. You have to quit the giveaways, the unnecessary giveaways. We have to get our house back in order. And if you're overextended just in your household, there's certain things that you can cut and there's certain things that you can't cut. But you cannot never accomplish the goal unless you start. And we don't cut anything because we don't want to do anything that's not favorable to get reelected. We have to be realistic with American people. And I can tell you, the American people are further ahead of what the politicians think they are. They're not stupid, and they're focused on this agenda this year.
All right, so then what would be the areas that politicians should cut, even if it does mean that Republicans risk losing the House next year? What would be, what would be the programs that need to go away so that we can rein in the government deficit?
Well, the first thing we need to do is quit wasting money. We have a lot of fraud, we have a lot of abuse, and we have a lot of giveaways. And it doesn't matter how much charity you have in your heart. If you don't have the money to do it and it's going to take away from your household, you have got to make some adjustments. We are way overdue. There's no two ways about it. You know, when you spend $1.5 to $2 trillion more than you take in, it's easy to see that a lot of these grants that we've done for the Green Deal and so forth and so on, all that came in this administration. Right prior to, we'll go back to 2019. We wasn't that far out of whack, although we were out of whack for the last 18 years in a row, not making our budget, but we wasn't $1.5 to $2 trillion. This thing has exploded with the current administration. You can put it on both sides of the aisle for the past 24 years because we've lost 24 years in a row. But the big thing is when we started spending $700–800 billion on these new green deals, whether it's the wind farm or the solar panel, when you're putting that much grant out there, trying to get the whole country, the whole world transform over to electric energy, I'm not saying we don't need all kinds of alternatives, but we can't just stop in midstream and change and put all our eggs in one basket.
Right. There's also been talk that since Speaker Mike Johnson cut a deal with the Democrats on this, he could face a motion to vacate from members of the House Freedom Caucus. Do you see Republicans like Matt Gaetz trying to oust Johnson from his leadership role?
Well, I can't say I don't see it. I can tell you I hope it doesn't happen. We need to have some stability in our government. Again, we're showing the American people that we can't even get along in our own parties. Now, that's very dangerous. You know, used to us, it's a Democrat or Republican argument, and we side because that's where our families voted or whatever the case may be. But we're now, we're turning on ourselves, and that's a dangerous situation for a country that's right on the edge anyway.
All right. Well, Joe from Texas, thank you so much for your time today.
Always a pleasure. Appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
Of course.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.